I need to talk to you about something very important. My name is Jenny, and I'm 13. My future and the future of Tommy, Heather, Kelsey, and all the other kids in my class is in your hands. Here in Mrs. Jackson's class, each student gets to be the teacher for a day. And today is my day. And as the teacher, I decided I wanted to talk about the election on November 6th. In school, we track success by the grades that show up on our report cards. So I decided we should look at the report cards for President Obama and for Governor Mitt Romney. And since I'm not old enough to be a Democrat or a Republican, I'm just going to look at the facts. For the president, let's look at the war on terror. President Obama has been doing some good things to keep us safe. He got Osama bin Laden, and he's gotten many Al-Qaeda leaders using unmanned drones. But in the Middle East, there are lots of problems. The recent tragedy at the U.S. consulate where the American ambassador and 3 other Americans were killed is horrible. Hopefully we'll find out why they weren't protected. I'm not so sure about the president's leading from behind strategy. How does that help us? Now, let's look at Governor Romney. In 1984, he started Bain Capital. It's a great American success story. They helped companies that I like Domino's Pizza, Dunkin' Donuts, and Staples. My parents buy from all 3 of them. They've created jobs, thousands of jobs. And sure, some companies didn't do so well and laid off employees, but this is a free enterprise system and some companies do not make it. Good companies that take care of their customers do well, and the not so good companies go away. Competition is a good thing. It makes us all better. That's why America is so successful compared to other countries. Some people talk like profit is a bad thing, but it's really a good thing that makes more jobs possible. My dad owned a company that went out of business when he was younger. He says he learned from his mistakes, and now his company is doing really well with lots of employees. The marketplace is exciting and full of opportunities, but there are risks, and there's no guarantee of success in any business. This is free enterprise at work. Okay, what about the economy? It's not looking too good. There are 23 million people unemployed today. That's horrible. Business owners have too many new rules and regulations to follow. The president wants small business owners to pay more in taxes. My dad said there'd be more on demand and he'd hire more people if things weren't so shaky. Did you know that corporations are sitting on over $500 billion in cash? That's billion with a B. If our president supported business, these companies would invest that money and create new jobs and lots of opportunity. Let's talk about the 2002 Salt Lake Winter Olympic Games. In February 1999, Governor Romney was called in to be Mr. Fix-It when out-of-control spending threatened to sink the games. It was a mess, sort of like our government's money problems. He brought much-needed transparency and open meetings to the public. He cut spending on just about everything. No more catered food for board meetings, and instead, pizza at $1 a slice. The games were a great success. It was difficult, yes, but Governor Romney has a track record for tackling very difficult problems and finding simple solutions. And hey, he donated his $1.4 million salary to charity. What about health care? In January 2009, Obama had control of the White House, the House, and the Senate. We were in the worst economic crisis since the Depression. Instead of helping businesses create jobs, the president poured our country's resources into creating Obamacare. In class, we call it the bill that nobody read. Does that make any sense? The majority of the citizens said no, and the other party said no, and the doctors said no. Today, the bill that nobody read is becoming one of the largest tax increases in history. How about being governor of Massachusetts? After fixing the problem at the Salt Lake Games, Mitt Romney was elected governor. That was an accomplishment by itself, a Republican governor surrounded by Democrats. The legislature was 87% Democratic, but he worked with everyone there from 2003 to 2007. It was difficult, but he didn't blame the previous governor. He focused on the future. He turned a budget deficit into a surplus and held the line on taxes. He didn't knock it out of the park, but he did a good job. Now on energy. In 2009, gas was $1.89 a gallon. Now it's around $3.83 a gallon. And that's a bummer because I'll be driving soon. Everyone agrees that energy independence would make us safer and improve the economy. President Obama stopped the Keystone pipeline that would bring oil to the U.S. from Canada and make us less dependent on the Middle East. And he stopped drilling in the Gulf of Mexico and gave tax dollars to other countries like Brazil to drill offshore. I need help understanding how this helps the U.S. How about free enterprise? So if I can get an idea about how to help people, I can start a business, hire workers, and play a part in the success of other people. The United States is about opportunity and personal responsibility. Free enterprise is what created all the wealth in the United States. That's why people from every country in the world dream of coming to America. The president has made it hard for people to do business in America. Governor Romney is pro-business and pro-America. Now, let's look at the deficit and out-of-control spending in 2011. Government spent $3.6 trillion, but only brought in $2.3 trillion. So we spent $1.3 trillion more than we brought in. Do that math. The president promised that he cut the deficit in half. He's doubled it. Mr. President, that's fibbing. My dad says if you want to get a difficult problem fixed, you've got to hire a guy with a proven track record of success. Mitt Romney has a proven track record of success. So based on all of the facts, here are the report cards. You decide who should be the next president of the United States. Your vote is very important. And remember, the future of Tommy, Heather, Kelsey, and all the other kids across America is in your hands.